If you've been looking to make extra income to pay off some bills, maybe help with the rent, or eventually quit your 9 to 5, then this is the video for you. These 10 side hustles that I'm about to reveal are ones that I've made money with or that I have close friends that have made money with. They're not ones I just found on the internet and just put up. These are ones that I've seen actually have results for me or people that I know. The first one I'm talking about is selling digital downloads. I actually have 2 Etsy digital download stores. One's an SVG store and one is a mock-up store. And I love to sell these because there is no customer service required. I kind of just create them, put them up, they sell, and they sell passively going forward. I'm actually also currently working on a video on how you can make your own mock-up store for print-on-demand products because I've had a lot of people interested in that. But it has been a super fun way for me to get some of my creative juices out there and put them up to pay off some bills. Right now, I'm making about, I'd say $500 to $1,000 on these digital download stores combined. So it's a great amount to help me pay off all of my rent. If you've got a specific online skill, why not use that to create a digital download? You can do the photography, which would be the mock-ups. You can create Excel spreadsheets for businesses. You can be creating websites for business owners. You can be creating Lightroom presets for photographers. So many options out there for digital downloads that you can cater to your passions. My second option is selling services that you already have skills in. Like for me, I love Etsy. I've been selling on Etsy for so long. I've had a few very successful stores that I still maintain. And so I actually offer Etsy audits. My Etsy audits allow me to just talk about what I already love, what I already know, but it's super beneficial to the people who are looking to get some guidance. So it's a really quick, affordable way for me to get out some what I call online services to help people. I used to also be really good at drawing on my iPad, so I used to sell pet portraits. So instead of digital downloads, it actually required time because they were super customized. So I count these more as a service because they were me actively drawing people's pets and it required a skill that not everyone has. And then my fiance actually makes money because he's a Shopify expert. So he helps other people just get started on Shopify, helps them set up their store. He already knows so much about it from running his own stores that why not help others trying to do the same thing when you already have that knowledge. Another service that you could offer is perhaps writing. Maybe you're a very good copywriter. Post that on Fiverr. Fiverr is pretty much just the marketplace for every person's talents. I offered my pet portraits there. I should be offering my Etsy audits there. But if you have any skill that you think people might be interested, digital marketing, running Facebook ads, graphic design, sell that as a service on places like Upwork, like Fiverr, because they drive traffic for you so you don't have to do active marketing to be able to drive any clients. If you've never been on Fiverr, please just go look through it and see what people are offering. Some things are so specific and you might not even think that you have a skill that people might want to buy before checking this out. And you can see people are looking for so much out there. People need help. So if you have knowledge in anything, just post it on Fiverr. It's free to get set up. Free to set up your different listings, the different products that you offer, and probably pretty quickly you might be getting some leads. I would start charging pretty small starting, but as you grow up some reviews on these sites, then you can start charging more, and this can turn into a full-time income. I actually just met someone last week in Bali who a few years ago posted that he does voiceovers on Fiverr, and that surpassed his 9 to 5, and he has been traveling 4 years. He's been making his full-time income just doing voiceovers. You can offer things like that. The next option out there is affiliate marketing. So many people have heard about affiliate marketing and think that you need an audience to do it, which can be true. That can be one way. I actually have affiliate marketing with this channel, with my TikTok channel as well, for some of the services that I've already used. I was already talking about them and I just Googled their name plus affiliate program and they all had an affiliate program. So I just talk about them, which I was already doing for free anyway. And then when one of my viewers signs up with them, then I get 10%, 15%, depends on the program, for getting traffic to that platform. This doesn't have to be something that gives you the highest reward. Again, all of these were things I already used, and it's pretty much every single brand out there has an affiliate program. Sephora does. Amazon does. Best Buy does. You can look up any of the products, anything that you're a fan of, and see what their rewards are for their affiliate program. And then once you do that, you need to drive traffic to them. It does not need to be through social media like I do. If you are good at running Google ads, you can be doing it for Google ads. You can be doing Facebook ads. You can write a blog and do reviews and then get people to click on that affiliate link based off that blog. Any way that you know how to get some eyes and drive some traffic, you can be signing up for affiliate links. I met someone last year in Argentina who was also traveling the world doing affiliate for, I think it was like a computer chip. It was something so specific, but he was just running Google ads and he found out that the Google ads were super profitable and he was being paid out more in the affiliates than he was paying for the Google ads. So he could just run those, get paid for the affiliate marketing. And because he was driving so much traffic, he actually worked out a deal with them to even get a higher cut from them. And that was his full-time income. Then we get to my bread and butter, which is print on demand. I love to design. What I talked about earlier is I was already using Etsy, so I already knew the Etsy platform, but I needed a passive way to make some sales on Etsy, and this was print on demand. So what I do is I create designs on Canva, I sync them to Printify. Printify is then linked to my Etsy account, so when I get a sale on Etsy, Printify automatically prints and ships my product for me, so I never have to worry about any of the printing, any of the shipping. The only thing I really need to do when I get a sale is answer any customer service questions if I get them, but I usually don't. Most sales don't result in customer service questions. A few do, which is totally fine for this being mostly passive. This does take a lot of upfront work. A lot of these probably will. They're not get-rich-quick schemes. It's going to take a lot of upfront work for long-term payoff. So just keep that in mind when starting any of these. Don't give up in the first month. Then the next option that I have for you is selling online courses. If you are knowledgeable about a certain topic, why not share it with people who are looking to get the same outcome that you did? If you have learned how to get rid of your psoriasis, if you've learned how to lose weight in 3 months, if you learned how to diet for keto, I don't know, any knowledge that you have people asking you about, why not sell it in a course? And using platforms like Udemy or Skillshare, you don't need an audience to drive traffic. They're gonna take a cut of what you sell this for. I think depends on which one. I think it's like 15%, but you can get these up. You just need to film them, post these, and they're gonna drive traffic for you. But even better if you can drive your own traffic by making content about your course. So yes, I do have my own course. I actually use a different platform called Kajabi because I like to drive all my traffic because I want to keep 100% of those profits that I make and not have to give it up. But it's because I already had a traffic source, which is my followers on TikTok and YouTube. But you don't need to start that way. You can sign up for a platform that helps drive your traffic and just lose 15%, which is still, you're keeping 85% for not driving traffic, which is huge. I know someone who was making money off of Skillshare and Udemy specifically. They were a teacher and they were doing study guides for a certain course for them to pass an exam for people that were ideally not his students, but it was to pass this like specific exam that I can't remember. And he had a course on that. And he wasn't driving any of his traffic. He was just a teacher. He was not worried about driving traffic through YouTube or TikTok. He just had it live on these, and that's where he got all of his sales. And I had heard he was making more than his teaching job just selling these courses that he had to make once. So the next one is brand deals. That's when a brand reaches out to you and gives you something ideally monetary in exchange for you creating content about them. So for me, because I do have a larger following, especially on TikTok, still growing here on YouTube, so help me out. That was a really bad wing. Sorry, as I was saying, because I do have some following, brands have reached out to me asking for me to make content about them, and usually I only say yes to the ones that I've already used before, but You don't need to be like me. You don't need to have a large following for you to start getting brand deals. One of my friends just started her account earlier this year. She only has a few thousand followers and she works her 9 to 5. This is just on the side, talking about, I don't want to give it away because it is her bread and butter, but it is like a specific build for a certain project. But she is sharing her knowledge, her experience, her journey through creating this product. And brands that have been relevant to this have started reaching out to her already. They've been offering either free product for her to use for her project, which is already great because she needed it anyway and was gonna spend the money. But now that she's slowly growing and she has a few thousand followers, she has started getting some monetary offers as well, where they send the product and as well pay her to talk about their product on her channel. And then on top of that, she can even set up her affiliate links on top of that. Right now, I think the best ways to grow for me have been TikTok and YouTube. Instagram, I have found a little bit harder to grow. So if you are looking to start being an influencer, getting these brand deals, then perhaps start just putting out content about what you love. Don't do something that you think is just gonna pay you off. You wanna talk about something that you love, because you are gonna be doing this for the long term. So really think hard about what you want to focus on before starting. The next way to make money online is using the assets that you already have. So for example, I'm out traveling right now, but I didn't want to be paying for my condo back home. So I decided to rent it out, and I'm actually charging more in the rental income than I actually pay for my mortgage. So I'm actually cash flowing while I am gone, and I'm not having to pay double for my travels while also paying my mortgage back home. Say you have a car and you're not using it all the time. Have you thought about renting it out on Turo? Turo is pretty much like the Airbnb for cars. People can book your car and they can take it out for a few days, and you can pick which days it's available to be rented, because maybe you don't need it. Especially now that we're all work from home, maybe we're not using our cars as much. So this could be an extra way to use this asset to be cash flowing, so it's no longer a liability, just like taking money from your wallet. It's actually bringing you an income. This we haven't done yet, but I plan when I move back home to create an actual good YouTube studio, because right now I'm just filming in hotel rooms. But so when I get home, I actually want to have a legit studio setup, but I'm not gonna use it all the time. So I'm actually gonna try to rent it out when I'm not using it. This is something I could have used back when I was first starting. I didn't have the lighting, I didn't have the room, I didn't have the cameras or the mic. And some people might be in my same position. So I'm gonna try to rent it out on the days that I'm not using it. We'll see how that turns out, but I hope this helps pay off some of my mortgage and bring me some extra pocket change. Two of my other friends have converted their garage into a wellness space. It has an ice bath, a sauna, and a chill room, and they rent it out for a good chunk of change. And it is always rented, and then they can use it whenever they want. But they have turned their garage into a cash flowing asset, and they were gonna do it anyway. They wanted that for themselves, but there's no way they're gonna use it 24/7. And then earlier I talked about YouTube for brand deals, but how about just creating YouTube for YouTube? Did you know YouTube actually pays out really well? I was surprised. Like, I don't have that many followers. I am at less than 10,000 at the time of filming this. I think I just hit like 8.5, which is not a lot. I know some people who have gained that many followers pretty quickly. Mine's been a slow growth, but it has paid me out about $1,000 a month so far, and I'm hoping that grows. I know other creators who you think, looking at their followers, aren't being paid that much, but they are making over 6 figures doing YouTube. I have way more TikTok followers and I get nothing from them. I don't get paid out by TikTok at all. They're very stingy, versus YouTube is extremely giving with their payouts for their creators. I met one girl on this trip who I've been talking to, who she just started her YouTube channel maybe like 3-4 months ago, and it's about her travels. And her first video blew up to 40,000 views, and she passed the limitations. You need 1,000 followers and 4,000 hours of watch time to be able to be monetized on YouTube. And she got that within just a few months of starting, and she's just been growing ever since. What if you are a music creator or you're a photographer? You can sell rights to your images or your sounds on sites out there that people can use for commercial use. That way, if you're already creating these just to learn, by putting these up on these sites, they might be bringing some passive income for you. For music, there are marketplaces like Epidemic Sound. There are a few others. Just Google where you can sell your commercial use music. And for photography, there is places like IEM, EYEEM, it's weirdly spelled, IEM. You can list your photography or your videos for people to buy for commercial use, and they have a really good payout program. And last but not least, and certainly not the last way you can possibly make money online, there are thousands, but how about flipping? This could be as simple as just selling the products that you already have that you don't use, or if you have some skills in like furniture making, painting, you can go on Facebook Marketplace, purchase like a wardrobe, an old wardrobe, paint it real nice, modernize it, and then resell it. Did you know on Facebook Marketplace, people are actually giving away things for free just to get them out of their house, which you can then flip and sell for an actual profit. This is one of my friend's side hustles. I won't say the location where because it's super specific. So people are taking over her market, but she buys things on Facebook Marketplace or goes to thrift shops and purchases them, flips them, and sells them for way more. And it's also just a wonderful hobby if that's something you enjoy. It's something you could do with your partner, which could be extremely fun. And I don't know how many of you guys follow Ryan Pineda, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, on YouTube, but he actually started his channel and his financial income journey through flipping couches. He quit his job from flipping couches. He talked about how he was making, like, I'm not getting the figure exactly right, but it was like $10,000 a month just flipping couches, cleaning them, usually like ripping off the skirts. There are tons of channels out there teaching you how you can flip these and what to look out for when you're purchasing some furniture that you might want to flip. All right, guys, that is everything that I have for you today, at least all the side hustles that I can think of right now, but I hope that they encompass tons of different options and different passions that a bunch of you guys might have. I really suggest taking a look at Fiverr if you can't think of any of these that will be applicable to you right now, and maybe getting some ideas of services that you can offer first. And again, print on demand is my bread and butter. It is pretty much what I am specialized in. So if you do want to learn more about print on demand and how you can get started yourself, check out this video here. All right, thanks guys.